And welcome everybody to the National Auto Racing Club All-Star 360 Sprint Car Series presented by Whiskey Oval TV. You are watching the Esports Racing Network. My name is Thomas Brandon. Thank you guys very much for joining me as tonight the All-Stars take to Lernerville Speedway, as we've got a good one lined up for you tonight. Tight battle coming in the series. We'll cover all of that as the guys are now running in the track, doing their hot laps before we head over to qualifying. So strap in because it's going to be a fun one. Coming into tonight's race here in the All-Star Series, your points leader as of right now is Kenny Hoffman. He's got 2 wins on the season. And in second place is Ryan Washock with 1 win. And then in third is Jake Sonatag. Only 26 points separate the top 3, with first and second being separated by only 17. So tight points battle coming in tonight, and it's going to be interesting to see how things shape up. So good car count tonight. It looks like we're going to have around 30 drivers here, which should give us 3 or 4 heat races. Top 4 from each heat race will go directly to the feature, with the top 2 getting put in that redraw for a chance at the pole in the 30-lap A main event. So let's head on to the track here, see if we can catch some qualifying runs. As Jeremy Weigel takes to the track for his qualifying lap. And his first lap is going to be a 13:08. That's a 13.08. That's 11th quick so far. And his second lap, much better. Going to put him up into the 3rd position with a 12.76. 12.76 for Jeremy Weigel. 3rd quick overall. So nice lap for Weigel. Our points leader, Kenny Hoffman, for his qualifying lap. And that's going to be a 12.78, so 12.78 for Hoffman, 4th quick overall. And it looks like that's going to pretty much do it for qualifying. As we look right now at your qualifying results, quick time so far is Brandon Voiles with a 12.73, and behind him with a 12.74 is Patrick Spangler. Then we've got Jeremy Weigel in 3rd, Hoffman in 4th, Dykstra 5th, Howell 6th, Joe Howe in 7th, Ryan Washock 8th, Joe Kramer 9th, Jordan Eder in 10th, with Griggs, McCartney, Hart, York, Ney, Cobb, Grettenberger, Heilbut, Denton, and Fluman rounding out your top 20. So as you can see, the top 5 separated by just 0.06 of a second, with the top 15 separated by just 2.5 tenths. So some really close speeds here tonight. Definitely going to make for some good racing at this track, and it's a fun one. There's no wall here. You're going to see a lot of people go over that banking because the top is usually going to be the fast line, and in order to be fast, you got to hang it out on the edge. So gonna be interesting to see how these guys can handle it, who can run up on that ragged edge without going over, and who can. Will definitely be the one to keep an eye on. So heat race number 1 now lining up, as we've got an invert for these heat races, and on the pole in the number 65 car is Jordan Eder, and outside of Eder is Joe Howe. Then on the inside of row number 2, your All-Star Series points leader, Kenny Hoffman, and outside of Hoffman is Brandon Voiles. Then starting in the 5th position, we have Joshua Hart, and outside of Hart is Patrick Cobb. Starting in the 7th position is Al Denton, and outside of Denton we have Chad Cote. Then in the 5th row on the inside is Derek Gray, and outside of Gray riding shotgun in the 10th position is Sam Clarity. 10 cars, top 4 will go straight to the feature, with the top 2 being put into tonight's redraw. All right, we should be going green this time by, as we've got Eder and Howe on the front row, followed by Hoffman and Voiles in row number 2. Pace truck is off, and we are under green as Eder jumps out to a quick lead over Joe Howe, with Kenny Hoffman and Brandon Voiles right there behind him. Eder going up to the high side as Hoffman looks to the inside of Howe, and he's going to throw a slide job, and is he going to make it stick? No, he's not, as he threads the needle between Eder and Howe. That was a close one there. Oh, and Eder goes over the edge, and we talked about it before the race, and tough break for Eder in the 65 car as he went right over the lip there in 1 and 2, and that's going to give the lead to Joe Howe in the 43 car, as Howe is now on the cushion with Kenny Hoffman right behind him. Howe running a cut down line there out of 3 and 4, gives himself a little bit of breathing room as Hoffman looks to the inside in 1 and 2, pulls up to Howe's bumper. 3 and 4 this time. Hoffman slides up, and he's going to let off there. Doesn't want to slide up into the 43 car, but that's going to give Voiles a chance to look into the inside of Hoffman, as we now have a battle here for the 2nd position. Hoffman gets back in front of Voiles for that 2nd position and has his eyes set on the 43 car of Joe Howe once again, as we've got 4 laps to go this time by. Howe up on the top with Hoffman on the bottom, looking to make a move. Hoffman just cannot seem to get the run that he needs to get around the 43 car of Howe. We've got 2 laps to go this time by. Hoffman looks to the inside, pulls even. Can he get the drive off the corner? Howe able to pull ahead as they both head to the high side, as we've got 1 lap to go this time by. Hoffman on the inside, looking to get around Howe in the 43 car, ducks in behind him. Is he going to be able to get around him this time? Out of turn 4, Hoffman looks low, and he's not going to get it to work, as Howe brings home the win here in heat race number 1, followed by Kenny Hoffman in 2nd, Brandon Voiles in 3rd, and Patrick Cobb, your 4th and final transfer spot. All right, as heat race number 2 is now lining up on the grid, and on the pole is Chad Griggs in the number 27 car, and outside of Griggs, Ryan Washok. Then in row number 2 on the inside is Zach Dykstra, and outside of Dykstra is Patrick Spangler. Then in row number 3 is Ted York, and outside of York, starting in the 6th position, is Kevin Grettenberger. Then on the inside of row number 4 is Jake Fluman, and outside of Fluman in the 117 car is Jeremy Prey. Starting in the 9th position in row number 5 is Ryan Wagenschutz, and outside of Wagenschutz in the number 30 car is Mason Inman. So once again, 10 laps. Top 4 go straight to the feature, with the top 2 being placed in the redraw. We saw a good race there in heat race number 1. We'll see if it can carry over here in heat race number 2, as we are going to have Griggs and Washock leading us to the green flag next time by. All right, pace truck is off. Griggs, Washock, and we are underway as Griggs gets the jump and pulls out to the early lead over Ryan Washock and Zach Dykstra. As Dykstra looks to the inside of Washock. Washock has to check up there. Oh, and goes down low as Griggs gets a little loose, and that's going to get them to stack up, as Patrick Spangler is going to end up getting into the back of Griggs there. Tough break for Griggs, as Spangler able to hold on to that 3rd position, but that's going to give the lead over to Zach Dykstra, as Dykstra now leading Ryan Washock, Patrick Spangler, and Kevin Grettenberger in that 4th and final transfer spot. Dykstra gets up into that guardrail there on the front stretch, but is able to hold on to that lead over Ryan Washock, as he's got about a half a second lead over the 2nd place car, with Patrick Spangler right behind the 77 there in 3rd place. Dykstra running a little bit of a different line than the rest of the field, running low in 1 and 2, high in 3 and 4. Seems to be working for him so far, as we've got 4 laps to go this time by here in heat race number 2. Washock now all over the bumper of Dykstra, as we've got 1 lap to go, and Washock gets into the wall there coming out of 4, but is able to hold on as he looks to the inside of Dykstra. Dykstra able to get the run on the outside out of turn 2, as Washock looks to the inside here in 3 and 4, and he's not going to make the pass, as Dykstra will bring home the win here in heat race number 2, followed by Ryan Washock, Patrick Spangler, and Mason Inman will get that 4th and final transfer spot. All right, as heat race number 3 is now gridding up on the track, and on the pole will be Christian McCartney in the number 92 car, and outside of McCartney in the 2nd position is Jeff Kramer. Then in row number 3 on the inside is Brendan Howe, and outside of Howe, the Team SSR driver of Jeremy Weigel. Then in the 5th position is Kurt Ney, and outside of Ney is Cale Halbert. Then starting in the 7th position is Connor Dudek, and outside of Dudek, we've got Brandon Garman. Then in the 9th position, we've got Glenn McTavish, and outside of McTavish, the JRB Motorsports of Eric Whitner. So once again, we've got 10 laps, top 4 to the feature, with the top 2 in the redraw. as we're going to have McCartney and Kramer leading us here to the green this next time by. All right, the pace truck is off. And we are under green as McCartney gets a heck of a jump out of turn 4, and he's going to open up a quick lead over Brendan Howell, Jeff Kramer, and Jeremy Weigel in that 4th and final spot. Kramer didn't get a very good jump that opened the door for Howell as he's able to get around him now into that number 2 position as him and Kramer, their battles allowed Jeremy Weigel in the number 20 car to move up on their backside as he's looking now to get into that 2nd place position as we've got ourselves a 3-car battle for the number 2 spot here in heat race number 3. Weigel down low as we've got Kramer and Howell up high as he cannot get that run there. Howell all over Kramer's bumper, and that's going to allow Weigel to get around him out of 2 there. Weigel looking to the inside of Kramer out of turn 4. Can't get the pass, and Howell gets back around him on the outside, and now the 74 car of Kurt Ney makes his way up as he's looking to get into that 4th and final transfer spot as we've got 5 laps to go this time by. Ney on the outside gets around Howell, so he's going to lock up that 4th and final transfer spot right now. Oh, and a little bit of contact there, and that's going to slow down Howell and allow Brandon Garman in the 18 car. Oh, and that is a very tough break right there. That is some horrible net code that just caught Brandon Garman right there. That is a tough, tough break for Garmin and Howell. Back up front, it is all Christian McCartney as he has pulled out a 2-second gap over Jeff Kramer and Jeremy Weigel, who continue to battle for this 2nd position. Remember, top 2 get put in the redraw. If you finish 2nd place in the heat race, you have a chance to start on the pole in the feature, so you want to get into that 2nd position if you can, to try to increase your odds of starting up front, as this time with 1 lap to go, Weigel's able to get around him. Now, can he close the deal? Gets the pass coming out of turn 2 as Kramer checks up there to avoid from running into the back of him, and it looks like Jeremy Weigel's going to hold on to that 2nd position as Christian McCartney brings home the win here in heat race number 3. All right, so it looks like we've got our last chance qualifier lining up here on the track, and we've got on the pole in the number 26 car, Jake Fluman, and outside of Fluman in the 88 car is Brendan Howell. Then on the inside of row number 2, the Team SSR driver, Jordan Eder, and outside of Eder, Chad Griggs. Then on row number 3, we got a pair of Canadians with Glenn McTavish on the inside in the 19 car, and outside of McTavish, Chad Cote. Then in row number 4, starting 7th, is Ryan Wagenschutz, and outside of Wagenschutz, the Team SSR driver, Cale Heilbut. All right, we've got 10 laps here. All right, we should be going green this next time by, as it's going to be Flumen and Hal. Pace truck is off, and we are underway as Flumen jumps out to a quick lead over Brendan Howell in the second place position, followed by Jordan Eder and Chad Griggs. Hal looking to get around Flumen there on the high side. Is Flumen on the bottom right now, running that low line as Hal powers around him on the cushion. Hal clears Flumen for the number 1 position, and he's now looking to check out as he is pulling away from the rest of the field. Oh, and it looks like Cale Heilbut just pulled into the infield, so tough break for Heilbut, as that looks like it's going to end his night early in the 58 car. Right now, we've got a 5-car battle for second place here, as right now Jordan Eder is trying to, oh, and a big wreck there as Flumen got hit, knocked off the top of the track going into 3 and 4, so tough break for Flumen. As our battle is now dropped down to 4 cars battling for the second place position, as now Chad Griggs is looking to get around Jordan Eder in the 65 car. Eder running right through the middle of the track as we've got 3 laps to go this time by. Eder running the bottom, but Cote looks like he's going to try to make a move on the high side as he's got that cushion, or got that car hooked up on the cushion, as he's going to get around Eder there going into turn number 3, as it is the last lap here for Brendan Howell, who is checked out at the front of this field. Howell got nearly a 1-second lead over Chad Cote in the second position, followed by Jordan Eder and Chad Griggs. And it's Brendan Howell bringing home the win here in the consolation, followed by Chad Cote, Jordan Eder, Chad Griggs, and Glenn McTavish in the 5th position. All right, so it is now time for our B main event. So we're going to have 16 cars. Looks like the top 12 will be going to the feature. Top 12 to the feature. So on the pole is going to be Joshua Hart. And outside of Hart in the 57 car is Kevin Grettenberger. Then on the inside of row number 2 is Brandon Garman. And outside of Garman in the 24 is Sam Clarity. Then in row number 3, the Wraith Racing 117 is Jeremy Prey. And outside of Prey from Pennsylvania, we've got Connor Dudek. Then in row number 4, the Black Bullet Racing and number 6 of Derek Gray. And outside of Gray is Ted York. Then in row number 5, the JRB Motorsports number 17 of Eric Whitner, and outside of Whitner is Al Denton. Then in row number 6, your C main winner, Brendan Howell, and outside of Howell, Chad Cote. Starting in the 13th position, the Team SSR driver in the number 65 car, Jordan Eder, and outside of Eder, Chad Griggs. In the 15th position from Canada, we've got Glenn McTavish, and outside of McTavish, the Whiskey Oval number 26 of Jake Flumen. All right, 12 laps, top 12 go to, as my man Fluman would say, the Mac Daddy Show, the 30-lap main event, which is next, and we are underway. As Hart jumps out to a quick lead over Brandon Garmin and Jeremy Prey, who are back there battling for that second position. So out in front with 9 laps to go, it is Joshua Hart, Jeremy Prey, Brandon Garmin, Sam Clarity, and Derek Gray, your top 5. As Brendan Howe has already moved up 6 positions. He's now in the sixth place. Remember, Howe just was in the C main event, and he's already made his way up into the 6th position here in the B main. So Howe running the alphabet soup, working his way to the front, and it looks like it's working out for him so far tonight, as he's got 7 laps to go. And if he can hold on to this position, he will punch his ticket to tonight's 30-lap A main event. The battle right now for that 12th and final position, that 12th and final transfer spot, right now we've got Glenn McTavish in the number 19 car, as Jordan Edwards going to have to work his way up. He has got about a 1.5 second gap and only 5 laps to get there. So will Edwards be able to close that gap and make his way to the feature? We'll have to wait and see. But back up front, Joshua Hart has now lost his lead to Jeremy Prey, and Hart got a little loose there as he collected somebody there coming out of turn 2, and that's going to allow these guys to get away, as now Prey is in the lead with Brandon Garmin, and Brendan Howe has moved his way all the way up to the 3rd position, as we've got 2 laps to go here in the B main event. White flag is out. Howe up to 2nd place. Can he make one more pass and get the win here out of turn 4? No, he's not going to be able to do it, as Jeremy Prey is going to get the win here in the B main event, followed by Brendan Howe, Joshua Hart, Eric Whitner, Connor Dudek, Derek Gray, Chad Griggs, Chad Cote, Kevin Grettenberger, Glenn McTavish, Jordan Eder, and Brandon Garmin is going to grab that 12th and final transfer spot. So our field is set for tonight's A main event. Drivers are going to get their cars set. Those that transferred get the fuel in, get the setups on. And then we will be ready to race tonight's 30-lap feature event. So as the drivers get their cars ready for tonight's A main event, we are going to take ourselves a quick break, and we will be right back in just a moment for tonight's 30-lap feature event. right, and we are gridding up for tonight's 30-lap A main event. All right, so we are going to be resetting the first 3 rows. If you remember, we have that redraw for the top 2 from each heat race, and on the pole, the winner of the redraw is Zach Dykstra, and outside of Dykstra is Jeremy Weigel. Then on the inside of row number 2 is Kenny Hoffman, and outside of Hoffman is Christian McCartney. In row number 3, we've got Ryan Washock on the inside, and outside of Washock is Joe Howe. Starting in the 7th position is Brandon Voiles for Double Deuce Motorsports, and outside of Voiles, driving for Team SSR in the 39 car is Patrick Spangler. Starting in the 9th position is Jeff Kramer, and outside of Kramer, we've got Patrick Cobb. Then in the 11th position is Kurt Ney. Outside of Ney is Mason Inman. Then it's Howell, Prey, Whitner, Hart, Griggs, Cote, Dudek, Tavish, Grettenberger, Eder, and Garmin. So 24 cars, 30 laps, and this is for it all. Pace truck is off, and we are going green this next time by. And we are underway as Dykstra jumps out to a lead, as we've got Hoffman and Weigel battling for that 2nd position off the get-go, as Weigel is now 3 wide in the middle between Hoffman and Washock, and he now dives down low, as it's going to be Dykstra leading lap number 1 with a battle here behind him for that 2nd position, as Hoffman now pulls away from Weigel and looks to reel in Zach Dykstra in the number 18 car. Dykstra right up on the top of the track, running that cushion with Hoffman right behind him. Hoffman gets into the guardrail there. That's going to cost him just a little bit, as Dykstra's now able to pull away slightly.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And it looks like we've got a caution on the track. Let's see who that was for. It looks like Jeff Kramer. Go back and take a look at that. Ooh, looks like Kramer got hit there, and Joe Howe's going to get the the short end of the stick there, as he got into the back of Kramer and then got turned. So tough luck for Joe Howe in the 43 car, as he had himself a good night so far. All right, so it's Zach Dykstra in the lead with Kenny Hoffman, the series points leader, in 2nd, followed by Jeremy Weigel, Christian McCartney, and Ryan Washock rounding out your top 5. All right, right, pace truck is off, and we should be back underway.
Green, green, green.
And we are back under green as Dykstra in the lead pulls away from Hoffman with Weigel and McCartney behind in third and fourth, as it looks like Spangler now looking to make a move, trying to get around the 77 car of Ryan Washock for that fifth position. Spangler took a look but wasn't able to make the pass as Washock holds on to fifth place in that 77 car. Spangler down low again once that fifth spot and is not able to get in. In fact, he's going to lose a position this time to the 22 car of Brandon Boyle. So tough break for Spangler. Now he's going to have to try to look to get back what he just lost. And he does with the slide job there in 3 and 4, but Boyles looks back to the inside on the cut underneath, and he's going to make the move as now he throws a slide job, and Spangler looks to cut under him as they head into 3 and 4. Spangler on the bottom once again with a slide job on Boyles. Spangler made the move, but then introduced himself to the front stretch guardrail, gave it back to Boyles there in turns 1 and 2 as these two are battling for this sixth position. And we've got another caution on the speedway. Oh, and it's Ryan Washock in the 77 car. Tough break as he throws the slide job and just could not stay on the track. Goes over the lip and flips. So tough break for Washock, who was second in the points coming into tonight. Just 17 points behind Kenny Hoffman. So a tough break for Washock. So your leader as right now is Zach Dykstra, followed by Kenny Hoffman, Jeremy Weigel, Christian McCartney, and Patrick Spangler in fifth, with Brandon Boyles, Kurt Name, Mason Inman, Chad Griggs, and Jeff Kramer rounding out your top 10. All right, pace truck is off, and we are back underway as we have got 19 laps to go in this 30-lap main event, as it's Zach Dykstra out in front with Kenny Hoffman and Jeremy Weigel close behind. Hoffman gets a run but checks up. Now goes for the slide job, and it looks like we're going to have another caution on the track. Let's see if we can go back and take a look at that. Oh, and it looks like Mason Inman got off there, and then we had a little mix-up with Eric Whitner there. So a couple of guys having issues on that restart. We'll have to see how iRacing scores it, depending on when that caution was thrown. Inman might be sent to the back. That'll be a tough break for him as he has worked himself up into the top 10. So Hoffman was looking to make a move going into 3 and 4, and the caution came out. We'll have to see if he can try it once again here. Dykstra's been getting pretty good restarts there. Hoffman got a good run out of 2 that last time. Had to check up a little bit and then looked for that pass, and the caution came out. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays this next restart.
Green flag, green flag.
And we are under green. As Zach Dykstra's got his rear end filled with Kenny Hoffman in the 1S, as Hoffman looking to get around him. Both of them running that top line there on the cushion. Hoffman throws the slide job. Dykstra looks to cut back underneath, and he does, as he now looks to slide up in front of Hoffman here in 1 and 2. Hoffman checks up. Hoffman with the run now, diving into turns 3 and 4 there as he slides up in front of Dykstra. Dykstra cuts underneath as they are side by side, heading into 1 and 2. Now Dykstra looks to the inside as he slides up in front of Hoffman. Hoffman with the run out of turn 2. Looks to the inside here in 3 and 4. Slide job once again as Dykstra cuts underneath as they're side by side, heading down into 1 and 2 once again as we've got 12 laps to go as these two are battling it out for the lead here in the NARC All-Star 360 Sprint Cars at Lernerville. Hoffman once again with the slide job. Dykstra dives back underneath with the cut under and gets the lead back. This time Hoffman looks down low as he's got a heck of a run out of turn 2. Throws another slide job. Will Dykstra be able to cut underneath once again? He does. This time Hoffman looks to the high side. Dykstra did not go all the way up, and Dykstra looks down low, and oh no, as Hoffman gets around him, powering around Dykstra for the lead. Is now Hoffman's got the lead, and Dykstra has now fallen back as he is a half a second back already, and Kenny Hoffman out in front as we've got 8 laps to go this time by. Hoffman and Dykstra threw sliders at one another for 4 or 5 laps in a row, and Hoffman has come out on top, but Dykstra is not done yet. Can he get a 1S car and get back around him, as he's going to only have 7 laps to do it? Hoffman's car seems to be coming on late here as he is getting faster as this race seems to be going on. As now Patrick Spangler looks to the inside, and he's going to throw his hat into the lot as he dives down low and trying to take the second spot away from Zach Dykstra. Spangler now up battling for the lead as he slides up, and he's going to lose that position just as quick as he got it, as these 3 guys are now closing in on lap traffic with just 5 laps to go for this time by. So it's Hoffman, Dykstra, Spangler, your top 3, as they are all battling here, as Hoffman has caught the tail end of the field with 3 laps to go. Lap traffic now starting to play a role in tonight's finish. The top 3 all nose to tail battling for the lead, as it's going to be 2 laps to go this time by. Will Dykstra or Spangler be able to make a move on Hoffman? Hoffman's got that top work, and Spangler looks down low trying to make the move. Spangler able to clear Dykstra and hold on to that top line, as he's now got 1 lap to go, and he's all over the back of Kenny Hoffman. Will he be able to make the move? He goes down low. There's a lap car there. It's going to force Spangler into the grass, and he's not going to get the run that he needed to make the move on Hoffman. Hoffman high in 3 and 4, Spangler down low, and it's going to be Kenny Hoffman bringing home the win in tonight's NARC All-Star 360 Sprint Car Series race here at Lernerville. What a show these guys put on in tonight's main event, as Kenny Hoffman brings home the win, followed by Patrick Spangler, Zach Dykstra, Christian McCartney, Brandon Boyles, Jeremy Weigel, Eric Whitner, Connor Dudek, Jeff Kramer, and Chad Cote, your top 10. Then we've got Chad Griggs, Patrick Cobb, Glenn McTavish, Brendan Howe, Derek Gray, Kevin Grettenberg, Jordan Eden, Brandon Garman, Kurt Ney, Joshua Hart with Mason Inman, Ryan Washock, Joe Howe, and Jeremy Prey rounding out the rest of the field. So, strong run from our top 3 tonight as Kenny Hoffman, Patrick Spangler, and Zach Dykstra put on a heck of a show. And we are now going to be joined by tonight's winner, Kenny Hoffman. Kenny, awesome race, man. You had a hell of a battle there with Zach Dykstra through the middle of the race, and then Patrick Spangler was making a move late. What were you trying to do there, man, those last few laps to try to hold on for the win?
I don't really know, honestly. I was just really comfortable up top tonight. I really didn't even know Spangler was there until 5 to go. I heard him on the bottom, and then I peeked out to the left of my VR, and I saw it was his car, and I was like, oh boy, Spangler's really quick here. He really likes this track. But I had a fun battle with Zach throughout the race. I feel like earlier on, if it would have stayed green, it probably would have helped me in my favor. Because there's times I want to pass him for the lead, but other than that, it was a really fun race with them guys.
Well, you definitely put on a show, man. You were definitely fast and hooked up on the top there and able to bring home the win. So awesome show for you tonight. You came in with the points lead tonight. You'll leave with the points lead tonight. So an awesome night for you. Before I let you go, do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, that's awesome. With the points lead, just coming in here every week trying to win the championship. But shout out to everybody at JRB Motorsports. Chase, Cody, and all them guys over there. JRB Designs and ABR Chef Shop, and shout out to Alex Bergeron for all the help he's given.
All right, man. Well, good job tonight, Kenny.
Yep.
Awesome run. Congrats on the victory, and we'll hopefully talk to you again next week.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. So your winner, Kenny Hoffman. In the All-Star Series, and we are now joined by our second place finisher, Patrick Spangler. Patrick, you had an awesome run. You came up late there with just a few laps to go, challenging for the lead with a 3-car battle between you, Zach, and Kenny. What were you trying to do there to try to not only get around Zach as you did, but also challenge for that top spot?
I tried at the beginning trying to run the bottom and just was like 2 or 3 tenths slower on the top, and I was training around the top. But when people started venturing to other areas, I was able to catch them on the top and then slide them in 1 and 2 is really good on the bottom. The lap cars, I was wanting to get by second place 3 or 4 laps with 3 or 4 laps to go, but I couldn't get around them, and I had to wait till we cleared them, and I was able to get around second. I need like now a lap or 2 to really have a shot at Kenny, but he ran a good race today.
Yes, you did. You guys had an awesome battle, man. You definitely have that bottom working there. You're able to make some moves when most people were just trying to get it to run up top, and you were able to go down low and get around some people. And like you said, that Zach there for that second place position. So awesome run tonight, man. Before I let you go, do you have any friends, family, or sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for broadcasting our race, and Team SSR for bringing me on, Whiskey Oval TV. Thank you for running the league and everything you do for the community, and dad and uncle back home watching.
All right, man. Well, awesome run for you tonight, man. Patrick Spangler, your second place finisher. Patrick, hopefully we'll talk to you again next week.
Yep, see you next week.
All right. All right. So that was your second place finisher, Patrick Spangler. But now with us, your third place finisher, Zach Dykstra. Zach, you jumped out to an early lead. You had the lead the first half of the race. Those caution flags bunched everybody back up. Then you had an awesome slider battle with Kenny Hoffman there towards the middle to end of the race. What were you trying to do there after Kenny got around to try to get that lead back?
Honestly, man, here the only thing I try for is to stay on the track. It's a tricky place. Lot of fast dudes in here. I knew Kenny was fast. He's always fast. So I just tried to hang on. I'm pretty happy with the finish.
Well, you had a heck of a run, man. You were definitely trading sliders there back and forth, and Patrick ended up coming up there towards the end, and you know, as you guys were all battling, was able to get ahead of you, but you were able to pull off a third place finish, man. So you did more than just survive tonight, man. You were able to pull off a podium, so it was an awesome run, man. So before I let you go, do you have any friends or family or sponsors you want to thank?
I'd just like to thank Bancorp Network, Ethereum, and Double Deuce Motorsports, Brandon Boyles for putting the laps in with me, getting the practice in.
All right, man. Well, it looked like it paid off tonight, man, as you got yourself a podium. So good run tonight, man. Congrats on the third place finish, and hope we'll talk to you again next week.
Yep, we'll see you next week. Thank you.
All right, have a good one.
Too.
All right, everybody. So that is going to do it for us here tonight. Once again, your winner, Kenny Hoffman, came in with the points lead. Will be leaving with the points lead. So another win for him tonight, followed by Patrick Spangler in second with Zach Dykstra rounding out the podium. And then it's Christian McCartney, Brandon Boyles rounding out your top five with Jeremy Weigel, Eric Whitner, Connor Dudek, Jeff Kramer, and Chad Cote, your top 10. So that's going to do it all for us here tonight on the Esports Racing Network. Thank you very much for joining me here. My name is Thomas Brandon. This was the National Auto Racing Club All-Star 360 Sprint Car Series presented by Whiskey Oval TV. And until next time, I want to wish all of you a good night and take care.